why do you think it's important to involve your students in policy making? How can they contribute to that?
That's a great question. So for me, I teach middle school, so that is about age 11 to 13 or 14, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in the U.S. And I think it's very important to teach youth about public policy, international relations, diplomacy, all of the above, because politics, there's an unbroken line between politics on a national level, a local level, and an international level. And mostly, often, history is kind of ignored sometimes by either policymakers, or they don't acknowledge all of the causes that members of civil society, whether it's an indigenous population, whether it's another minority group, whether it's women, whether it's ethnic minority group, all of these policymakers don't always acknowledge the roles that different people and different stakeholders play. So I think that it's very important that we engage youth very early, because youth may not necessarily get that information in college. If they go to college, they may not get that information if they do not go to college, but they are still a stakeholder. So just using the example of voting, for an example, I think in America we have the rule of you have to be 18 years old to vote. If that's the case, that is in fact the law. However, we should educate the youth about voting well before they're 18, so they don't have to be put on the spot or have a rush lesson of history when they're 18. They should be well versed on history and learning about history when they're 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So by the time they're 18, they will be an informed state.